Welcome to sqadia.com. Today the topic of our discussion is the integumentary system. This is the first section and we'll be talking about the epidermis in this section. In epidermis we'll be talking about the composition of epidermis, the structure, melanocytes, the dendritic cells and the tactile cells. Let's take a look at the epidermis in a little detail. First of all, the composition of epidermis. Epidermis is the outermost layer of the skin. It is composed of stratified squamous keratinized epithelium. The individual cells are known as keratinocytes. The keratinocytes contain intermediate filaments which are made up of keratin, hence the name keratinocyte. It is renewed every 15 to 30 days. It is ectodermal in origin, and epidermal derivatives include hair, nails, sweat, and sebaceous glands. There are two types of skin in the human body. There's thick skin and thin skin. The only difference between these two is stratum lucidum, which happens to be the second layer when we count it from outside to inside. Stratum lucidum is found only in thick skin. Thick skin is usually found on palms and soles. Thin skin is found elsewhere in the body. Thick skin is about 400 to 1400 micrometer. Thin skin is about 75 to 150 micrometer. As I already told you, stratum lucidum is the major difference between thick and thin skin. Let's take a look on the layers of epidermis. Thick skin has 5 layers and thin skin has 4. When we take a look at the layers, we tend to look at them from outside to inside. From outside, first we have stratum corneum. After that, we have the stratum lucidum. As I already told, stratum lucidum is found only in thick skin. Then we have stratum granulosum. Then we have stratum spinosum, which is the thickest layer in the skin. And lastly, we have stratum basale, which is the last layer of epidermis. Let's take a look on stratum basale in a little detail. Stratum basale is composed of a single layer of columnar or cuboidal epithelium. It has hemidesmosomes which bind the cells to the basal lamina below and desmosomes which bind the cells to each other. It is mitotically active and it continuously produces new cells. It is the site of origin of basal cell carcinoma. Okay, you have to remember basal cell carcinoma originates from cells in the stratum basale. Moving on to stratum spinosum, as I already mentioned, it is the thickest layer in the skin, in the epidermis of the skin. It actively synthesizes keratin filaments. Stratum germinativum is a term which is used for stratum basale and mitotically active cells of stratum spinosum. There are only a few cells which are mitotically active in stratum lucidum. They combined with stratum basale are known as stratum germinativum. There are keratin fibers in stratum spinosum which combine to form tonofibrils. These tonofibrils converge at the desmosomes. What were desmosomes doing? Desmosomes were helping cells to attach them to each other. The cytoplasm of these cells in the stratum spinosum is drawn into short cellular extensions around the tonofibrils. These extensions are known as spikes, hence the name spiky layer or stratum spinosum. Stratum spinosum is the site of production of squamous cell carcinoma. Point to be remembered. Moving on, we have the next layer, which is stratum granulosum, the green layer in the figure. It consists of 3 to 5 layers of polygonal cells which are undergoing terminal differentiation. This cytoplasm is filled with keratohyaline granules. These keratohyaline granules are non-membrane bound and they consist of filaggrin and other proteins. Keratohyaline granules associate with keratin and help in keratinization of the upper layers. These cells also contain lamellar granules containing lipids. These lipids, when secreted in between the cells, help to maintain the water loss barrier, which helped in development of terrestrial life. Next, a clinical pearl. We have a disease which is known as psoriasis. Psoriasis involves stratum germinativum. What was stratum germinativum? It was the basal layer associated with the few dividing cells in stratum lucidum. What happens is there is either an increase in number of the proliferating cells or there is decrease in the cycle time. This leads to either an increase in epidermal thickness or there is abnormal keratinization and hence there is a defective skin barrier. This is what psoriasis clinically looks like. Okay, let's take a look on different cells in the epidermis. We have this melanocyte. The melanocyte is found in the basal layer and in the hair follicles. It produces eumelanin, which is a brownish black pigment. Melanocyte in itself is a neural crest derivative. It only forms desmosomes, that is, it forms connections with the basal lamina, not with the adjacent cells. It has long, irregular dendritic extensions which branch into the epidermis. This forms a melanin epidermal unit. What is an epidermal melanin unit? It is the melanocyte and its dendritic processes which are going in between the cells of the epidermis. This is responsible for giving the pigment to the cells in the epidermis. It can give rise to melanoma. There's a congenital variation in which there's defect in either melanocyte or the melanin production. This can lead to albinism. And there is autoimmune defect, autoimmune destruction of melanocytes or destruction of the pigment, which can lead to vitiligo. Let's move on to the dendritic cells. Dendritic cells are also known as the Langerhans cells. These cells are actually the antigen presenting cells or the skin's adaptive immunity. They represent almost 2 to 8% of the epidermal cells. They're most clearly seen in the stratum spinosum. Stratum spinosum was the second layer. Their cytoplasmic processes extend between the keratinocytes of multiple layers. They're derived from bone marrow and they're capable of binding, processing, and presenting antigens to the lymphocytes. Moving on, we have the tactile cells. Tactile cells are also known as the Merkel cells. They are mechanoreceptors, as it is very evident from the name. They contain neurosecretory granules which contain peptides, and these neurosecretory granules are characteristics of tactile or Merkel cells. They are located in areas of high tactile sensitivity in the stratum basale. They derive from the neural crest. Their function is in neuroendocrine system and as mechanoreceptors. They can give rise to Merkel cell carcinoma, which is very aggressive, but fortunately it is rare. Okay, this section included epidermis, melanocytes, dendritic cells, and tactile cells. We took a look on these things in detail. For further details or for further evaluation on how we'll move with different topics in the skin, keep watching this video and watch other sections. Thank you for watching sqadia.com.